Birthright citizenship, a right promised in the 14th Amendment, is now at the center of America's latest legal storm. With the Supreme Court's latest ruling on Trump's controversial executive order, the debate has exploded once more. What does it all mean? Stay with us because the truth isn't just about law, it's about identity. In 1868, the 14th Amendment reshaped the very foundation of America. It was a turning point, a moment when the nation tried to heal from the wounds of civil war and redefine what it meant to belong. Born out of the ashes of the Civil War, the amendment declared that anyone born on U.S. soil, regardless of race, background, or the status of their parents, was a citizen. This was a radical promise, a direct response to centuries of exclusion and injustice. The 14th Amendment was crafted to undo the deep harm of slavery and infamous court cases like Dred Scott, where the Supreme Court once declared that Black Americans could never be citizens. It was a bold attempt to right a historic wrong and to guarantee equal protection under the law. Its language was clear and sweeping. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. These words were meant to be unambiguous, a shield against discrimination. Yet, for over 150 years, those last few words, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, have sparked fierce debate. What exactly do they mean? Who is truly included and who is left out? Legal scholars, politicians, and judges have argued over this phrase for generations. Fast forward to 2025. Former President Trump, returning to the national stage, signs Executive Order 14160. This order specifically targets the children of undocumented immigrants, challenging their right to citizenship by birth. His argument? That these children, born in the United States to parents without legal status, are not subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. government. It's a controversial interpretation, one that reignites old battles over the meaning of citizenship. The legal pushback was immediate and intense. Federal courts quickly blocked the order, citing decades of precedent and the clear intent of the 14th Amendment. But the story didn't end there. In June 2025, the Supreme Court issued a new ruling. Nationwide injunctions must be scaled back, limiting the reach of lower court decisions. This means Trump's executive order could soon take effect in parts of the country, depending on how individual courts respond. The legal landscape is now fractured, with different states potentially enforcing different rules about who is a citizen. It's a legal chess match, with each move carrying enormous consequences. And in the midst of this battle, real families, parents and children who have built their lives here, are caught in the middle, waiting to see if the promise of the 14th Amendment will hold true for them. This issue isn't just a matter of policy or politics, it affects real lives every single day. For millions of families across the country, questions about citizenship and belonging aren't abstract debates. They're deeply personal, shaping futures, opportunities, and even the sense of security people feel in their own homes. The ongoing conversation about who gets to be called American is woven into the fabric of our nation. It shapes what it means to be American, influencing our culture, our communities, and the very identity of the United States itself. If you've learned something new so far, or if this topic has made you think differently, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with friends or family who might be interested. Your support helps us reach more people and keep these important conversations going. And here's a quick trivia challenge for you. Can you guess how many U.S. presidents were born to immigrant parents? Take a moment to drop your answer in the comments below. We love seeing your guesses, and there's a surprising twist coming up at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around. Ready to dive back in? Let's continue our journey through history and see how these questions have been answered in the past. In 1898, the Supreme Court faced a landmark case. United States v. Wong Kim Ark. Wong Kim Ark was born in San Francisco to Chinese parents who, under the laws of the time, weren't allowed to become U.S. citizens themselves. When he returned from a trip abroad, he was denied re-entry, sparking a legal battle that would change history. The Supreme Court ruled in his favor, declaring that a child born in the United States, regardless of their parents' citizenship status, was indeed a U.S. citizen. This decision has stood for over a century, serving as a cornerstone and a firm defense of birthright citizenship in America. In the present day, a new debate has emerged among legal scholars, especially those aligned with the Trump administration. They argue that the original Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship doesn't necessarily apply to undocumented immigrants and their children. This perspective challenges decades of legal precedent and has reignited a fierce national conversation about who truly belongs in America and under what circumstances citizenship should be granted. As a result, public opinion on this issue is deeply divided, with passionate voices on both sides. For some, the question strikes at the heart of American identity and values, while for others, it's a matter of upholding the rule of law and national security. According to a recent poll conducted in 2025, 40% of Americans are opposed to granting citizenship to children born in the U.S. to undocumented immigrants. This significant minority reflects a growing skepticism about automatic birthright citizenship, especially in the context of ongoing debates about immigration reform. Supporters of the Trump administration's proposed changes argue that the move is fundamentally about restoring law and order and ensuring that citizenship is not granted automatically to those who, in their view, have broken the law by entering the country without authorization. On the other hand, opponents insist that such a policy is not only unconstitutional, but also discriminatory. They argue that it undermines a core American value, the idea that anyone born on U.S. soil is entitled to equal rights and protection under the law, regardless of their parents' status. At the center of this legal and moral storm is the phrase, "subject to the jurisdiction thereof." Its meaning has been debated for generations, and today, it remains the focal point of the controversy. The real question is, does this phrase exclude children of undocumented immigrants from citizenship, or does it include anyone born here who lives under U.S. laws? Some argue that subject to the jurisdiction should be interpreted narrowly, while others believe it should be broad enough to encompass all who are born on American soil and abide by its laws. If Trump's executive order is implemented in some states but not others, the United States could soon face a fractured definition of citizenship, where a child's identity and rights depend not just on where they are born, but on the laws of the state in which they live. The future of American citizenship may be more uncertain than ever. Birthright citizenship is more than a legal clause. It's a promise, one that says anyone born here belongs here. The battle over that promise isn't just legal, it's deeply human. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more insights, and don't forget to check the links below for sources and further reading. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious.